welcome to Dog on the Plot, and a particularly dark and wet, very autumnal September weekend, and yeah, it's not been the ideal conditions to get things done. Nevertheless, there are things to be done, including something a little surprising, was a bit unexpected, and has to be done fairly quickly. So I won't keep you in suspense. What's happened is I've been offered another greenhouse. Now this is an allotment site greenhouse. So it's one of the greenhouses that belongs to the allotment, and it can just be moved from plot to plot as and when people want it or need it. It's currently on a plot with a tenant who doesn't want it. There's two greenhouses on that plot and she only wants the one. So the steward offered me this one. Not quite sure why she offered it me in particular, because I do have a greenhouse on the plot, unless if, like you, she's become exasperated with the fact that it has no glass in it, or 6 panes. But it might be because of the size of it, and I have a big plot, and this is an 8x10 greenhouse. So anyway, she offered it me, and I was a little bit on the fence, but then as Mark said, you don't turn down a greenhouse, and he should know, he's got about 5 in the backyard. So I said yes, but it needs moving ASAP. So there was a window yesterday afternoon, and Mark and I went down there and we started dismantling. So we were taking out as much of the glass as we could in one piece, and it is almost fully glazed. There are just a couple of panes missing or broken, and I broke one in the process, of course, of trying to take them out. So one less there. But we got most of that glass out, and my cousin came and helped, and she and I were going up and down the site, getting the glass down to my plot. And then the sky was threatening the entire time, and then at last the heavens opened and we had an almighty storm. And we were in the polytunnel. I think we were in there for almost an hour, just sort of chatting. Poor Dory, she was all shivery and cold, but we were trying to keep her warm, and we were chatting. But eventually, I think we had to admit that this rain was not going to stop. And in fact, the thunder did not stop the entire time. There was just rolling thunder for hours yesterday. So we made a dash for it, got to the cars and came home. And indeed, it has been raining pretty much ever since. The water butts are full. Everything has had a good water, and that's nice. But also the roads are flooded, and yeah, it's so dark. It's just really dark and miserable, and you can't garden. So this morning, knowing that I wouldn't be able to go down to the plot and finish the greenhouse, I text my cousin. I'm like, shall we go to the garden centre? What a morning, hey? You wouldn't believe it is almost 10 a.m. and it's so dark, so dark. You all right back there, Dory? Dory's looking out the window because we're just waiting for my cousin to come out of her house, and we're heading to the garden centre, because what do you do on a morning like this on a Sunday? when you can't be out in the garden, you go to the garden centre, obviously. Obviously. Was that lightning? The thunder. Oh, it's Becky. Ready to go to the garden centre? Right, give it a minute. Dory thinks you've got treats. In my defence, we weren't actually going to the garden centre. We were going to the stationery shop that just happens to be in the garden centre, where I needed to get some vouchers as gifts. Anyway, obviously we did go into the garden centre and we did pretty well. I don't know whether it's just because it's a rainy day and not many people there, but we got some real good bargains. So the first thing we picked up was pansies or violas, so some winter flowers, and I had these in a hanging basket that I put on the lean-to, and I could see out of my kitchen window during the winter last year, and they were a delight, absolute delight to be able to look out your window and see those flowers. So I want to do that again, so I got some half-price trays of violas, and I got the pineapple crush ones again, and I mean I've still got some of those flowering over here, but I love the colour of those. So I got some more of those. And then this is what I also bought. So my pelargonium collection, my scented pelargoniums, I got another. This one is melon. And I mean, I don't know if I would have bought it if it wasn't 50% off, because I mean, it's a beautiful looking plant, really healthy looking plant. But there's not, I mean, I don't know that you would call that melon. It did have the Coca-Cola one as well, but obviously I've got that. But yeah, maybe the more you rub it, the more it kind of comes out. I mean, all these scented pelargoniums, the idea is to use the leaves for like teas and things. But I potted all the rest of them up and they're looking fantastic, and they're ready then to go into the house over winter, because I don't want to lose them this year because I have lost them in previous years. So I need to pot this one up. That's one job to do in the greenhouse while it's raining. Look, it's just starting to come down a bit heavier again. And then the other thing I got, which was a little bit naughty, because when Mum and I were at the garden centre a couple of weeks ago, I bought one of these in the sale, but I couldn't resist because look how lush that is. Wow. So it's an alstroemeria. I have no idea what colour the flowers will be. I have the Indian summer, is it called, in the ground, and I think I might dig that up because I don't think they do that well in the ground over winter, and when I overwintered them in the greenhouse before, I felt that they did much better. So I've got that one. I got one that I lost, so I haven't got that one. And then I got the one that I bought a couple of weeks ago, which is a red flower. So it'll be interesting. If this is a purple flower, then I'll be very happy because I'll have like orange, red and purple. So we shall see. I can't see any little buds on it at the moment, so I don't know, maybe we won't find out until next year. So both of those I'm going to repot, but I also wanted to show you the seedlings that I was planting last week, and they are coming up a treat. Look at that. So we don't have any Florence Fennel or Chervil coming up yet, but we've got Mibuna, we've got Mizuna, we've got Perpetual Spinach, Claytonia, Pak Choys. They're all doing well. And then in these ones, in my windowsill planter, the dill is just coming up. No sign of caraway or wild parsley yet, or chicory, but we have got one Bronze Beauty's come up. That's a lettuce. We've got Arctic King, a lettuce. We've got cress, landcress. What's that? Something salad. Oh, lamb's lettuce, I think. Yeah, corn salad, that's what that is. Coriander hasn't come up. Loads of mustard because I didn't realise, can you see? Oh, it's that one. that one at the back there. Oh, no, there's water in it. It's just dripped down my arm. I had 2 types of mustard. Didn't realise that I was putting them in the same drill. So there's a lot of seedlings in that one. And lastly, there's bunching onions. But I don't think they've come up. I think that's just more mustards that have spread around. Oh, one of those is coming up. 1 caraway, unless that's a dill that got there. Oh, actually, I think there's some chicory coming up there. There you go. I might take the water out of this tray though. They're getting too wet. Oh my God, look at you. Look at that beast just sitting there in wait. You can come down to the compost heap. So I've headed over to the plot because my app says that we've got a couple of hours now of no rain. We'll see how true that turns out to be, but I thought I would get down here and try and do a bit more of the glass. So I'm just ferrying it up and down. And I brought Dory. That probably wasn't a good idea. She should probably have stayed at home because she can't come up and down with me. So, oh, we've got some good tomatoes there. Let's have a look. Got some flooding is what we've got. But yeah, I was just looking over here. I could see some red. Ooh, yeah, there's quite a few in there. Brilliant. Really eager for these tomatoes to ripen because the foliage is starting to look a bit rough. It's not blight, I don't think. I think it's from that frost that we had last week. But I mean, with this weather, the blight will be coming. So yeah, I'll get some of those harvested. Oh gosh, there's more courgettes. Of course there is. Anything else? Oh, look at those raspberries. Oh, don't they look fantastic? These are such young plants. They're doing quite well. Yum yum. Oh, and look, we've got the first full gold coming. So they're the orange raspberries or yellow raspberries. Oh, that's exciting. Might harvest some more of these beetroot as well, because I'm going to Mum's for dinner this evening. Late September and finally get a marigold to flower. That's a pretty one, isn't it? Very nice. Welcome back to the home garden, and it's a full working week since I last saw you on Saturday again, and we didn't release a video, Dory. Slacking, I know. But yeah, it's been a bit full on this week. So it's the first week of term, so students were back teaching again. So yeah, pretty full on. It was also my birthday, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. But it was also just rainy, and like not even just little rain, big rain. It was storm rain. So pretty much from Sunday when I was last filming until today. Today is looking pretty good, but it has been almost non-stop rain. There's been quite a lot of flooding around the area. Obviously my plot is flooded, so everything is looking very sodden, very sorry for itself on the plot. But the home garden is still looking pretty lush. There's lots of colour, and although it was cold last night, so it got down to 3.8 last night, there was no frost, so I did put some sort of tenderer things under cover, but yeah, the garden is fine. It's still doing its thing. I'm still hoping that there is time for some further growth and ripening, because the Greek gigantes are in the home garden and they're podding up, but they're not even nearly there yet. And I've still got quite a lot of tomatoes and chilies in here, which I must water. Now I've got a lot of rainwater, I've been collecting it like crazy. I shall come in here and yeah, do a good water of everything. I have continued to harvest tomatoes. So they are still turning, you know, still getting red ones, but it's the black ones really that are taking their time, and particularly the Midnight Roma on the plot. And there is definitely blight on the plot now. There is definitely blight. So so it's a bit of a race against time with those tomatoes. So I'm going to have to make a decision on those fairly soon. But what I thought we'd do today, well, first of all, I want to show you some of my presents that I got for my birthday. So I was working my whole birthday. I was like left the house at early hours of the morning and didn't get home until bedtime really. So I didn't have much of a birthday on my birthday. But then I did go to my mum's on Wednesday morning and we had a little birthday breakfast and I opened my presents. And I was just going to show you a couple of the gardening themed presents that I got, including this funky little mug from my aunt. But the one that I had been dying to open and it arrived in the post a week or so early, but I had been very good and hadn't opened it. I'm thrilled, absolutely thrilled with this gift. Thank you so much to Claire at the Farmyard Garden for sending me this absolutely stunning trug. And I brought it into the greenhouse now to show you. And I didn't even want to bring it into the greenhouse. I didn't want to bring it out of the house in case it got dirty. So I don't know that I'm ever going to use it to actually collect vegetables in it because it's just too nice. But yeah, so it's got the tomato on and some mushrooms and a garlic and of course a pumpkin. But yeah, I love the colour of it. I think they're so clever and they're so lovely. I shall put a link to London Timber in the description below, but just fantastic. So thank you very much, Claire. I also got some plant presents, including this Japanese wineberry, which is the third Japanese, it's on the chili, third Japanese wineberry that I've had. I killed the other two on the plot. I would say Japanese wineberries do not like waterlogged clay soil. So I'm going to be really careful with this one, and I think this one is going to go in the home garden. But I feel like the Japanese wineberry is the berry that I'm missing, you see. So I'm really thankful to my cousin for that one. Thank you, Becky. And then my aunt got me some bulbs. This is Zantendeschia colour yellow, but they're not to go in yet. You don't put those in until February, so I shall put those to one side. Oh, and I got this little cute book from my dad. It's Mindful Thoughts for Gardeners, and I thought I'd just share a little message with you. There is something about a garden that's unlike any other environment. For many, the garden is a place to come home to oneself. With our hands tucked into living soil, we breathe in the scent of rosemary and mint, and we know who we are. So as well as watering the greenhouse, this afternoon I've got a few other little jobs that I want to do. I've got some violas and cyclamen that I want to pot up, but I also need to get ready for tomorrow, which is the RHS Malvern Autumn Show. I'm going to be meeting up with fellow YouTubers and viewers, and I have promised things and I don't want to forget them. So I've already got sorted tree spinach seed for Linda at the Feel Good Garden. I've got loads of tomato seed. I know Danny at the Grow Up channel wants some, but I got loads more if whoever wants it. I've sorted some cloves of elephant garlic for Claire at the Farmyard Garden. And the other thing I've got is water kaffir grains for Ali at the Right Pair plot. Now the things that I still need to do, Nick at that British Homestead wants some sprigs of eucalyptus because she's going to make a ointment or something for flus and colds. So I need to cut some of that for her. And then the other thing is the Australian tree cabbages. Now I sowed loads of seed of Australian tree cabbage earlier in the year because I know people on my plot would like the plant, but so do some of my YouTuber friends. So I'm going to pop some of those up and take them with me. I think Danny wants one. I think Linda might want one, Claire. So I'll take 3, 4, 5, and if anybody wants one, they can have one. But it's really, Claire was saying on her video released this morning on Saturday morning that there's this real lovely feeling that other people have your plants on their plot or in their gardens. And Claire's got my amaranth on her plot at the moment, and my cabbages, and I've got a geranium that Claire got me, and I mean so many other things. I mean, I would have loved to have all the pumpkins that Claire and Danny gave me at the last Malvern show, but unfortunately the slugs ate those instead. But yeah, there's something really lovely about swapping plants in this way, and knowing that people are growing on the things that you started. So yes, those are my little jobs for this afternoon. The other thing that I'm going to do is ferment some of my cherry tomatoes. So I harvested a few more from in here earlier, and I'm going to get a lacto fermentation going with those. Right, so my final job of the day is to sort out these Australian tree cabbages. And first job, figure out which they are. So these are definitely them. Hello. But I thought those ones looked a bit ropey, which was why I thought I would repot these ones, I think, although they look a bit ropey too. These ones look nice though at the end. Let's have a look. That's definitely kale. They got caterpillars on them, so that's the reason they're not looking their best. Right, let's put my gloves on and see how this pops out. Does it look decent? Am I going to be embarrassed to give these away? Let's have a look. Oh, look at that root system. Oh, okay, it's a little bit holy, but it'll be fine. I mean, you've seen the one on the plot, you know how they grow. Okay, I think that'll be fine. Right, Nick says she needs enough for a jar. Not really sure how you prune eucalyptus. I'm assuming at a node. Oh, might need actual secateurs rather than snips. Oh no, there we go. Okay. Oh wow, it smells amazing. Right, so I'm just taking it back to where there is a joint with a leaf coming off. It is getting rather large, so probably could do with a prune. Take one off. So yeah, I think she's going to make some kind of like Vicks Vapor Rub or something like that with it. this one. Right, I think that is everything ready for tomorrow. Don't think I've forgotten anything. So now we just have to hope for good weather and think about what I might want to buy while I'm there. I'm surrounded by my scented pelargoniums here, so maybe add a new one to the collection. But there we go. Right. Hey, done, Dory. I'll catch you in the morning. Off to Malvern! Well, it's the morning after the day before, and yes, I came back from Malvern with a sun hat. I am going on holiday in a few weeks to Turkey, so I did need a sun hat, and I really wanted one. I'd seen this sun hat there before, and at the spring show, and I was going to buy it, and then I thought, oh, I'll look around a few more things, and didn't buy it. So I had my eye on this going in for the autumn show, but of course it was all bobble hats and beanie hats and things, wasn't sun hats. And I just happened right near the end to see this basket, and these were in there reduced to £3 because obviously it's not the season for sun hats. So well chuffed with that. That's definitely my bargain of the autumn show, and I had a fabulous time. It was really good. The whole family really enjoyed it. Sorry, I'm a bit it was a long day. It was a long day, and I've woken up this morning and rain, of course, and yeah, trying to gear up for the working week. But I thought I would just check in with you to let you know what a great time we had, how lovely it was to meet so many other YouTubers. I think that's the biggest meetup that I've been to so far, and yeah, and just, yeah, so many other people. Sarah from Sundays in the Garden. I have to thank Sarah, and I have to thank Jenny from Jenny Wren's Life for the seeds that they gave me. So I'm really grateful for that. Claire brought me garlic and seeds as well, as did Jo, her sister, and Claire brought me these. So these are Japanese anemones that she had dug up from her garden and potted on for me to bring to the show. And you know what? So on trend. Saw so many people carrying these around, really tall ones as well. And my cousin, she bought 2 pink ones, and we saw Jane, directed her to where everybody else was, and when we got back, she had also picked up 2 of these. So yeah, I'm going to say Japanese anemones, trendy plant for 2025. There we go, that's my prediction. That and bizarre sun hats. The other thing, oh, don't get it mucky. The other thing that I bought was right at the end. Obviously, we stayed till the sell-off, and you saw on the clips there that the rain did move in. But it was well timed. So while we were listening to Eric Anderson talk in the potting shed, the rain came down, and then it cleared for the sell-off. And then just as we started driving home, it came down again. So very well timed. But in the sell-off, other than random free plants this time, and a couple of pound plants here and there, the thing that I bought was more astrantias. So like the anemones, astrantias, oh no, got bent. Oh well, and then you'll need the flower stems cutting back soon anyway. Yeah, these have just been my plant of the year, really, the astrantia. I really wanted to get more of these in the garden, and have got a white one. This one is called Shaggy. So that's Shaggy astrantia in white. But this one was the one I really wanted, and my cousin bought one, and then I was like, oh yes, I'm going to have to get one too. And this is Claret, but it's a really dark purple, whereas my other one that I've got, which I think... I'll put the name on the screen, but that's like a dusky pink. So it's nice to have the different colours. Oh, you know me, I always want all the colours, don't I? And the last thing I want to share with you, and I was so touched by this, Annie at Annie's Kitchen Garden, she made Dory a bandana. I don't know if you know, but she does these craft things, and I'll link below. But yeah, it's called Simply Mutts About Them. And she made this bandana for Dory, which first of all, the material is absolutely beautiful, but it's got Dory's name on it. And then Dog on the Plot on the other side. And not only that, she even got the text to match the font that I use on the channel. I mean, how thoughtful is that? It blew me away, and I'm so thankful. Thank you, Annie. I do feel like this week's episode has been a lot of me in the greenhouse showing you lovely things that I've got. And well, that's not so bad, is it? But yeah, the rain has rather stopped play this week, and yeah, so a slightly shorter video, even though I filmed it over, gosh, 9 days now. Are we on the 10th day? Whoops. But yeah, things, I mean, I wasn't necessarily going to talk about channel changes. I think it's just a bit of a realisation this week, I think, with the weather and being back at work, that I am going to have to pull back a little bit. So we'll see how that pans out. But thank you if you've waited for this episode to come out and enjoyed it, and hope to see you then in not too long. Take care.